Ken Rosewell Arena in Sydney. It is the Battle of the Bridge. The Giants and the New South Wales Swifts. A reminder of the Woolworths team cards. Joe Harton and Dwyer in goals. The mid-court looking much the same. Great to see Sligo back after a heavy knock last week. Jodie Ward and Tilly McDonald for the Giants.
And for the Swifts, we have Tongan international Pallavi in goal shooter with Helen Housby in goal attack. The co-captains across wing attack and centre with Maddie Turner, Tegan O'Shannessy and Sarah Clow taking the back line.
The Battle of the Bridge, as some call it. And the last 60 minutes of these athletes' seasons. Paige Hatley underway for the New South Wales Swifts, straight to Helen Housby. Turner. Proud. Hadley. Oh, looked pretty clinical, didn't it?
It did, and just some lovely front space there from Pallavi and pulling that in. Always good to get your first one on the board.
Jamie Lee Price, little roll off from Joe Harton. Can't get free of Sarah Clow, though. And what do you make of this change in defence with O'Shannessy in a goal defence pushing Turner out to the wing? Extra height?
Yeah, absolutely, that extra height. And that extra height for them to be able to play a different style of defence in that circle, potentially seeing a little bit of split circle, but also making sure they're doing the pressure out to force some of those cross-court balls we know the Giants have been able to throw this season.
Well, Joe Harton did say in the pre-game they will be looking at the super shot. Sadly for her, they can't do it until the 5-minute mark. So it'll be all about just trying to stay in touch with each other
Contact
in
with
the
defense.
first 10 minutes of
Centre
this
third,
quarter.
where you are.
Both of these sides aren't great
Unconstructed
starters
goal
either.
defender.
So a really good start, I think, will set them up nicely. Helen Housby. Ward, back to Sligo. Oh, it felt like a long time in the hand, didn't it? Dwyer had to take it under enormous pressure from Paige Hadley. Hey. Dwyer sneaking in the background. Great to see Maddie Hay back this season for the Giants, O'Dill.
Oh, absolutely. She just adds so much consistency to that attack end. She's so smooth with her movement, and she's got a really great connection with both Dwyer and Harden, and you can see them be comfortable with her out of court. And as we just speak about her, the intercept to just give the Giants a turnover there.
Well, Joe Harden had to work hard to keep it in, didn't she? But I'll tell you what, when Joe Harton has got something in her mind and is determined, you don't stand in her way. There it is on the Harvey Norman replay. Maddie Hay right on cue. Well, they look like they're prepared to go long here too, the Giants. Happy to lift it up on that one-on-one when it's on in the circle. And again, there it is. Nicely weighted pass into the co-captain, Joe Harton.
Well, I think both teams know the importance of this start, and they don't want to be in a position where they have to play catch-up, because as soon as they're playing catch-up, that's pressure on that super shot period. And if they can be the front runner in this game, let's see what the other team can do under pressure.
Yeah, you mentioned the starts. Both of these sides have only won 4 first quarters all season. Helen Housby, another to her name. So all of the shooters on court and not a miss yet from anyone. Dwyer. Oh, yeah, I was going to say I had to wait a long time, man. Certainly did, a held ball. So the Swifts an opportunity to equalise. The tip again. Well, the attack line for the Giants doing so much work defensively. Straight into Pallavi. Thoughts on Pallavi being the go-to shooter in the contracted 10 next year for the Swifts?
Oh, it could be an option. I think it's going to depend on her performance today. I love that she's working that front space, and I think she's got a really great matchup here against Tilly McDonald, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It's about that consistency that we want to see from Pallavi.
Well, setting the screen there, Pallavi. So she's got that great game awareness as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. She's got a fantastic brain, and she's got the movement to match it, and she can just back herself from anywhere on that shot.
Well, the Swifts get themselves in front by 1. I feel like early days this game is going to be goal for goal. And the crowd will want it exactly that way too, as they watch their sides play their last game of season 2024. Harton doesn't want to shoot it up just yet. Wire. Yeah, probably no question there, that was a contact.
No, I think so. And they're the ones that the Swifts just need to tidy up on. You're better off staying in play and understanding where you are on the court so you can build a pressure and apply that pressure. Neither team can afford to give away those easy penalties.
Yeah, the Swifts averaging 8 more penalties a game than the Giants are. They've been the most penalised side all season. Hadley waits for Housby. There's that contact on the Harvey Norman replay. Straight into the floorboards for Sophie Dwyer. Pallavi out of the circle. Well, they're using the circle really well here, the New South Wales Swifts as well, aren't they? They're using the pockets and they're sending it to the top to middle it up a little.
They are, and it's really good to see that, just that control, but the Giants' defence end was really quite dynamic in terms of that sliding to cover what was coming next and potentially creating a little bit of an error. It's that unit defence that we want to see them build.
Well, not forgetting Eloise Sawyer is on the sideline for us today. And Eloise, this is a Giants home game, but it's hard to tell from this crowd, isn't it?
It is so hard to tell. There's a sea of orange and red, Kath, and it might be a battle for the wooden spoon, and both teams want to avoid that. But of course, you wouldn't guess it. It is a sellout crowd here at Ken Rosewell Arena. They are absolutely cheering on for their teams as they get the ball in hand. And Helen Housby puts another one up, and the Swifts go ahead by 1.
And I have a feeling this sold-out crowd will not be quiet for the entirety of this game. Interesting stats on screen now. We mentioned Helen Housby in that goal attack role, probably struggled a little bit with taking the lead, but she's doing exactly that right now. 5 from 5, and Pallavi just 2 from 2. Housby, and she is outside the circle. Turner. Maddie Proud is having to work a lot to try and get free here. She's got a body on her every step of the way.
She absolutely does, and what the Giants are doing a really, really good job of is they're covering second phase so well. And when they're covering second phase, they're forcing that ball to go back. And once that ball goes back, it means you have to do extra passes. And every time there's an extra pass, defence has another opportunity.
Well, Price didn't want to let that one go initially. Waited for Joe Hart just to sneak through the gap on the baseline. 8 apiece. Julie Fitzgerald, well, she did notched up a massive milestone this season too, didn't she? 400 games as a head coach in the National Netball League. Not the season she would have wanted, but she's on board next year, so plenty of time to fix it. Housby. Maddie Hay. Price. Dwyer. Price again, so keeping it relatively short now, the Giants, as they make their way to circle edge. Dwyer assessing all the options. Really did have to crick the neck to get all the way around. Sinks one from distance, so just over a couple of minutes. She'll be wanting to do that a lot as the Power 5 kicks off. Housby, Proud again. Hadley undefended. Pallavi. Well, she's calling for it, but they're not tempted, are they? They really want to make sure they're on that circle edge before they let it go here, the Swifts.
Yeah, big time. They're working it to circle, getting that extra pass in, and Unique's doing a really good job of continuing to reposition. I think as the game goes on, we'll see them, and great ball speed there from the Giants, but I think as the game goes on, we'll see them release that ball earlier to Pallavi.
Yep, just working into it, getting the confidence up. Getting used to what the umpires are allowing and what their defensive players are allowing. Housby had to get up over Jamie Lee Price. Hadley all the way back to the transverse line. Proud to Hadley. Quick double play. Well, there it is. The look from Housby straight in. Unique Pallavi all
a bit of showtime
in the book. And that is not easy to do, is it? The pole is not the thickest of objects to try and hit on the run.
No, and you definitely wouldn't want to miss it and make that ball go out of court, so good job, Pallavi.
There it is on the Harvey Norman replay, bottom of screen. Not the first time we've seen her do that this season, and it's a trick I never tried for that exact fear reason you just spoke about. Well, she's showing more and more to Bryony Akel that she would be a good recruitment in 2025.
Oh, absolutely. It's sitting in that... Oh, Tegan O'Shaughnessy, great timing to come through there. And this is going to be a challenge for the Swifts in terms of that game-to-goal conversion. So let's see how they can go here.
Yeah, they have been sitting off a bit down there, the New South Wales Swifts. O'Shaughnessy's been very close to a couple of those. Oh, God. Showtime happening down here for the New South Wales Swifts. And listen to the red part of the crowd. Well, as they get themselves up by the 2, it is an HCF tactical timeout to the Giants. So Julie Fitzgerald may be saying, oh, I'm just going to put a halt to this for the time being. Let's have a listen.
We can find something up. So let's make them work a lot harder for that ball. Let's take where they're going and be in a position to contest it, all right? Do not play behind. Don't let them keep coming back up here for short balls. As soon as Helen gets that ball, she gets it back again straight away. You want to cover that, all right?
There we go. We're not turning quick enough. So if we're not going over, we hit, and then you fill the gap. So we can get that second phase away a little bit quicker. They're in no man's land. Yeah?
And I think all those balls that go in there can have a little bit of height on them, all right? Don't put anything too flat, even small, nothing too flat, all right?
Especially in the 2, we can play pinball with you. Yeah, so fake the long, come in for the short. They're trying to isolate you, so when you get the ball, I was going to get down.
Okay, I want to see a big increase in our defensive effort out there. Let's get right on it.
Stay in this mentally, yeah? Here we go, orange bubble, here we go. Giants on 3, 1, 2, 3. Giants!
Plenty of chat, Dill, very animated. A lot of that coming from Joe Hart, talking about keeping it short and using each other a little better.
Yeah, definitely in terms of that attack end and some things that they want to work on in terms of those double plays. But I absolutely loved that from Julie Fitzgerald, that defensive advice that she was giving. She absolutely laid the law there. And let's see if they can pick up that defensive pressure here to win a ball.
And Eloise Sawyer, what did you pick up in the Swifts huddle?
Yeah, Bryony Akel was straight to Tegan O'Shannessy, just delivering her and watching them in the circle and wanting to drop back and watch her behind and to see the play that's going on behind, to be able to read what she had just a couple of minutes ago when she was able to intercept there in the circle.
Well, keep an eye on that then. There might be some more flies at the ball coming from the New South Wales Swifts defensively as Pallavi picks up the slack. So we mentioned before it was Housby taking the load. Well, look at Joe Harton. Have a look at the clock and look at Joe Harton. She's going to shoot it now. Waited that extra 5 seconds. It ended up under the post.
Well, she did tell us it was going to be intent with the super shot, and we could see that with the time play there, but it just didn't come over.
Well,
some good hands over there.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating. Did everything she could, but didn't play out that way in the end.
Emily Price, that was beautiful timed. Well done to stay onside too.
Jodie Ann Ward to Sliger. Price, there she is, defensive hero. Have a look at this Harvey Norman replay, straight to Price. Hey. Again over the top to Price, a lot harder now defensively. The Swifts just sitting off the body a little bit, kind of in a bit of a zone.
Yeah, a little bit, and just shifting between that, forcing those balls to go across the court, and that's what they want.
Well, 2 attempts at super shots very quickly from the Giants, and really trying to put some sort of scoreboard pressure on the New South Wales Swifts here. Well, there's no question in your mind they're going to shoot that one as well, is there? The rebounds are. Is that going to elude them? Sarah Clow. Well, that's what the Swifts have got to be so onto if the intent from the Giants is to shoot the long ones. Well, who wants the ball at this stage? Back and forth, back and forth.
Not sure anyone did then. That was a bit of a hot potato and some not clinical play in terms of that release out of defence.
Joe Harton, the one-handed pass back, big swing across the circle. Well, that's exactly what they're trying to open up there. Joe Harton from distance nails it. 2 Suncorp super shots on the board for the Giants. 3 attempts, the Swifts yet to have one. Look what's happened with that in the last 10. Giants 3 in a row. Well, there's that matchup we spoke about pre-game. Hadley on Price, right on each other's hammer, and that will not change the entirety of this game. Pallavi, can she get one back for the Swifts? She can. Well, maybe we need to get the record books out for super shots in this game because it's heading down that path, isn't it?
It is, and I'm just loving the intent from both teams here. They are so hungry for the ball. They're so hungry to get that ball through. You wouldn't pick this being a 7th and 8th playoff, so I'm loving that from both these teams.
Nice piece of shiny silverware on offer too. Reminder, if you've just joined us, these sides playing for the Carol Sykes Memorial Trophy, which is between the two New South Wales teams and has been played for since 2017, way off. Pallavi makes it level again, there it is. Currently the New South Wales Swifts the holders. Hey. Harton. Well, that's the piece of the puzzle that was missing earlier. Big, strong rebound to the English international, Jo Harton. And Bryony Akel straight up on her feet, calling for her team to get to her as fast as possible. An HCF tactical timeout here. Plenty to say straight away.
You guys need to come up and flood. Flood? Can we go into this? Yeah? Don't chase him outside the circle. That's what they want to draw you for extra passes. So you guys split, take up room in the 2-point time. Almost just split that, use it as a pulley. Look for ball. Guys, second phase, right? They're doing a pretty good job on us. I think you need to come up a little bit more in second phase if you can. Right, you read it, but I think we can just come a little bit higher. We're waiting too far back. Let's stagger that a little bit. Right, let's go.
I reckon you should have taken her on. The crowd went right. Yeah, take her on. So they just came too late. Yeah.
They're going to throw as many balls as they can, right? Take up that time. You guys get down there, get hands on.
Yeah,
Let's go. Awesome sweat. Do Netball.
You don't often see Bryony Akel walking out onto the court to get as much time with her team in the huddle. She generally lets them come together. This game means so much to these sides.
Oh, it does, absolutely. And you could see that through what she was saying there. But she needed to address what was happening in that super shot time. Jo Harton was getting an easy pop through that middle, and she was accessing that post quite easy there, really. So some good instruction for Clow and O'Shannessy just to change up or think about what they're doing.
And Eloise Sawyer, Julie Fitzgerald, plenty to say as well, no doubt.
Yeah, Julie Fitzgerald had plenty to say, particularly to Jodie Ann Ward. That's exactly what she was looking for right there as the Giants get the intercept. That's exactly what she asked from Jodie Ann Ward, to push up and look for those intercepts. That's exactly what she's done. She'll be happy with that.
Dwyer, huge swing to an unmarked Jamie Lee Price in the pocket. Well, a couple of players undefended here for the Giants, finding some good space, and Price again with the hand up at the top of the circle. Not lacking options. Giants take themselves up by 2, under a minute to play in this opening quarter. Dwyer, back to Price.
And that's just smart play by the Giants. They're keeping it really short and sharp to hit circle edge. It completely takes a defender out by playing so short. And if they do come through, they contact and then they're able to get the super shot. So smart play there from the Giants.
Breaking with defense, center third with defense, yes.
And just like that, they get themselves up by 4. Have a look at these Nissan net points powered by E-Power. 4 of the Giants. Paige Hadley, the lone Swift. Pallavi, can she narrow the gap with 20 seconds to play? Hasn't got the hot hand on that occasion, and Tilly McDonald has come up with some timely ball.
Yeah, she's come to life in these last 2 minutes, getting that great intercept and now that rebound. Let's see if they can convert here.
5 seconds on the clock. Does Dwyer know it? Has a good look at it, got to sink it. Oh, she can't, and that will be the end of the first quarter in the Battle of the Bridge, this New South Wales derby between the Giants and the Swifts. And a couple of changes, well, one change I can see straight away for the New South Wales Swifts, Ali Smith on at wing defence. Dwyer. Back to Price, wants the double play, doesn't though, opens up Jo Harton at the back. What do you make of that change defensively for the New South Wales Swifts?
Yeah, they're obviously looking for something a little bit different in terms of that speed and tenacity that Smith brings to the court. So expect her to really work one-on-one and Hay and shut down those options early and see if she can kind of take her out of the game in terms of that aspect.
Pallavi, another to her name, has not missed in regular time. That puts her at equal with Jo Harton, 10 from 10. Price, patient, back to Jodie Ann Ward. Hay, Price, Well, this is exactly why they've been clinical. They've kept the ball a lot shorter than normal.
Big time. And you can see the Swifts earlier on there, they were setting a little bit of a box, but the Giants were doing a good job of just cutting through it. But great closing speed from Sarah Cloud. They're shutting off that baseline and coming through.
Well, it was smart because she knew she wasn't going to be able to take it cleanly, so made sure she tapped it to a teammate. Right across the court to Hadley, to co-captain Proud. Intercepts on screen, not much in it, just one the difference. Housby, oh, that was a step well before it was a fumble. Through the hands, so a couple of lapses of concentration here from both sides. The tussle going on there, and Sarah Clow will 100% say that Jo Harton is giving just as good as she gets here.
Oh, it's always a great battle between those two. They are both really tough players, and they're going to go really hard for both their teams.
And it's nothing undisciplined, it's just a very smart use of the body. That was undisciplined, a cheeky little effort from Maddie Hay. She clearly goes offside trying to get the ball up and over to Pallavi.
And that's just great strength from Pallavi. She set that up early. McDonald was trying to move around, and she held her ground beautifully then.
Dwyer keeps it in, but only to Sarah Clow. Well, the Swifts have had opportunities to get themselves a little closer in this game. Got to treasure this possession. Pallavi sinks one, the centre pass to follow so they can get themselves back within a couple. Bryony Akel liked it. There's the Harvey Norman replay over the top to Pallavi as Jodie Ann Ward comes flying into the circle. Pallavi. Well, she's so good, Dylan, because what she probably lacks in the height that we typically see in a goal shooter, she's so strong on the hold, but she can shoot from distance, so she can take the front hold, the side hold, whatever it is.
And she can, and she's got absolutely no fear with putting that up too. And I just love that variation that she has, that it's so unpredictable in terms of what she does, which is so hard for a defender to think about in terms of what their setup is.
You're offside there. Take it.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Price just waiting, I think, for Smith to get back on the court.
Centre.
Martin.
And that's the ball that the Swifts are trying to set up in terms of that split circle that they're going for. So for O'Shaughnessy there, she needs to be really clean in terms of getting back to close that gap so she can get up and contest that backspace ball to Harton.
Pallavi to swing across the court. Housby tried to find someone to set a screen on. Well, she's not having to do too much, so it was Housby on strike early in the first quarter. Pallavi well and truly taken over. There she is, total score, 16.
Contact, defense.
Price, just a little shove. Ali Smith, get out of my way, got things to do here. Well, look at those penalties early already, Dylan.
Yeah, they're creeping up already, aren't they? You can see that the Giants are doing a really good job of staying clean and staying in play. The Swifts there just need to address that and pick which ball they're going to go for and which ball they're going to pull out and apply pressure.
Oh, we might get down to Eloise Sawyer on the sideline. We typically see the likes of a Sophie Fawns injected into the contest, but Pallavi doing everything she can to keep her on the bench at the moment.
Yeah, Pallavi is 15 from 15. She's being very clinical this afternoon, but expect a change soon because Bryony Akel just went up and sat next to Sophie Fawns. She had a quick delivery in her ear. Sophie Fawns has got up and put the goal shooter bib on. She's warming up, so expect her to come into the game shortly.
There she is, the youngster. Great impact player. And great in the super shots as well. So they're 5 minutes away from that. That might be the time Bryony Akel makes the change, or a little prior if she wants to warm her up. About to say if Pallavi sinks that though, it's going to be hard to put it to the bench. Long ball finds Hay. Jodie Ann Ward screaming down court. Helen Housby is down in the back of play and very, very slow to get up. Only just getting to her feet now and has immediately asked for time. So we'll see if we can get a little replay on what happened there. It was a little off the ball. But it looks like she's holding her jaw though, so might have copped a knock to the face.
Helen.
Let's have a look here.
His name, Helen, called tactical timeout. He said tactical timeout. Is that tactical?
Okay, so there's some confusion here too from the umpires saying that Helen Housby has called for a tactical timeout where I think she was just trying to call a timeout. That's okay. Bryony Agle, don't worry about it. Come on in, let's have a chat. Interesting one. It was clearly an injury. Anyway,
Goal defence and wing defence. Make sure we've got a goal side option, not really wide, because they're pushing us back and back and back. Use each other. Have you tried that? So come closer, rather than saying circle edge all the time. Come out and look for each other. And then use your triangles.
I feel like I'm trying to come off and I'm running into like her space. I need like find a space that's not cutting you off.
You two just play each other and use your triangles. If not, go back. Okay, bring it in here. Watch that baseline. Go big on the baseline. I reckon it takes up some space in here. Let's go. Let's go.
Great fight back. We are in control here. We keep pushing along. Let's go. Bang on, guys. Let's go bang.
Well, there is Helen Housby looking in a little disarray. Let's have another look here as to who it was that knocked her. Well, it was just Amy Sliger's shoulder by the look of it that got her on the way down. But the interesting thing here, I think after she's been assessed, is around the concussion protocols. She looks okay though, Dylan. I think initially probably just the whack to the jaw that might have been a bit of a stinger, took her breath away, maybe just sitting there for a moment.
Yeah, I think it hit her pretty hard, and it was probably a little bit of a shock. She wasn't expecting it, and you could see her drop to the ground. And Helen Housey's pretty tough. We'll expect to see her back out if she's fit.
Well, in the meantime, Eloise Sawyer, we've got a couple of jobs for you. Firstly, what did you pick up in the Giants? And we might need you to keep an eye on Helen Housby and report back as to how she's going.
Yeah, I'll definitely get an update from Helen Housby. As from the Giants huddle there, it was Sophie Dwyer talking to Jo Harton, asking her about how she goes about when Sarah Clow is cutting her off in her sweep, how she goes about getting back in front of her. It was Jo Harton just delivering exactly how she should get on top of that. So keep an eye on how she attacks that down there with Sarah Clow.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because when you're driving into the circle with a defender on you, you don't want to pull out because quite often you can milk a penalty from that contest. Well, take it. Jo Hart not only had to take it on one hand, the full 360 pivot to keep control. Dwyer, 3.5 minutes away from your second power five of the game.
It's going to be a really big challenge for Fawns to step into this game here, and she's going to have to make sure she does a good job of getting free and then being able to service Pallavi, but also put a through the post herself. So we'll see how she goes here.
And interesting because just prior to that injury to Helen Housby, she had the goal shooter bib on. That mindset, she was already thinking about, I'm coming up against Tilly McDonald, what I need to do. She's now being thrust into goal attack. Price, quick off the hands to Hay. And there's that hand again from Jo Harton, protecting space, bending.
Oh, she protects her space really well there. I guess the umpire would have to look if there is a movement in terms of pushing off that goalkeeper, but I think at the moment she's doing a really good job of holding her space strong.
Pallavi, Fawns, overcooks it. So one of the few mistakes we've seen in the connection between the two shooters for the New South Wales Swifts. Undefended all the way down the court, though, the Giants. Where's the defence on them?
And we've seen Maddie Turner enter the game into goal defence, so we've got that tried and tested duo in there. Let's see if that makes an impact.
Well, absolutely right about the body-on-body there. And you just saw Sarah Clow and Jo Harton really fighting for any kind of space, still at it off the ball. Keep an eye on that contest. Oh, don't need to worry about it all if Sarah Clow goes out for the specky.
And it's just the timing. She was out a little bit early there and then just gave Amy Sligo, who took that ball at the transverse line, too much time to get that in.
Great drive from Sophie Fawns, the timing on it perfect. Didn't overrun the post too much and sinks her first one of the game. Let's get back to Eloise Sawyer, an update on Helen Housby.
Yeah, Helen Housby has been massaging her jaw, but doesn't look to be getting any medical treatment. She's just hopped on the bike, now off it, and she's put on goal shooter, so expect her to come into the game in goal shoot.
Thank you, great news. is the last game of the season, so not having to worry about playing finals and backing up next week if there was an injury, but still English internationals and the like to come up for Helen Housby. McDonald off contract at the end of this season. Sliger, Hay, Price. Joe Harden, well, really smart, just change of footwork then to get Sarah Clow off balance.
And it's just a beautiful transition by the Giants. Jamie Lee Price just owning that middle channel and just hitting circle edge with ease. And once she's on circle edge, that's a great spot for her to be able to give that ball.
There she is, Helen Housby, straight on and into the action with that assist to Sophie Fawns. And they need to stay close here, down by 6, the New South Wales Swifts, losing this quarter 10-12 at the moment. Got the experience on the court, though, to get that back. This side in a grand final just 12 months ago, and now trying their best to avoid the wooden spoon. Fawns. Not going to wait the 8 seconds to the power 5 time. Take the one. They'll have the centre pass to follow here, the New South Wales Swifts. Right on the siren to the power 5 time. It's a tactical timeout to the Giants. And already been lots of intent and chat around attacking this super shot. We'll have a listen to Julie Fitzgerald.
You're going to keep them in or you're going to keep them out. And you're going to look for the shooter to shooter, all right? One will get it, look to shoot, pass it off, particularly to the top, all right?
Second phase. So whether it's stay a second before you make that move, and then
I'll get one to the shooter, You're coming in behind Sophie all the time, so you're only going to be able to contact, all right? You've got to get yourself a little bit between her and the post from the start, put that on an angle to contest. Don't come in behind and get the penalty away.
you've got mad quick feet. Run them down. I'll back you up.
Same thing with you, we're still trying to keep them in or keep them out. Keep them out of the line. Whoever it is, keep them out of the line.
Attack to middle.
This guy's red hot on the break, let's be careful, all right?
Using our brains for 5 minutes. Here we go. Lock it in. Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3. Giants.
What a luxury for Julie Fitzgerald to have someone like a Joe Hart and be able to take over half of that huddle so she could go and concentrate on the defence end for the players. You can see Joe Hart in a coaching role not too far away. There's your Nissan points, Jamie Lee Price, Harton and Hay in the top 5. But what are they asking for in this last 5 minutes still?
Yeah, they want to make sure that they're just making some simple adjustments to what they're doing in terms of their positioning and trying to work to stay in play, but also making sure they're really clear of what their super shot penalty is. So let's see if Jodie Ann Ward can take on that advice in terms of her positioning with Fawns and get the ball that the team needs.
Oh, smart on the baseline there. Helen Housby had driven to the top and had 2 defenders on her. The rebound and the shot from Housby.
Contact with defence.
It's really going to be now what the Swifts can do at defence. They're only sitting on 3 gains for this whole entire game, and that's something that they'll need to increase. Making sure that they're potentially changing up what they're doing and just trying to stay in play a little bit more to build that pressure, particularly during this super shot period.
Oh, look at those gains there, 9 to the Giants and just 3 to the New South Wales Swifts. The conversion has been red hot for the Giants as well. Really, this super shot period, though, is going to be telling. There's only 1 sunk for the New South Wales Swifts. And the Giants continuing to put them up.
Obstruction goalkeeper, over one of the 2. Goalkeeper, you're out of play. Goalkeeper, hold time. Goalkeeper, it's obstruction.
Yeah, extremely loud in this stadium. Took a while there for Sarah Clow to hear. Well-timed jump for Maddie Turner. Dwyer can't sink it. But they get that all-important rebound. Jo Harton, can she get another?
Contact goalkeeper under the post, the one or the two.
Well, it's those silly penalties again. I think the Swifts have been guilty of a lot this season, but it's around this Power 5 time. You really have got to stay as clean as possible.
Oh, you do, absolutely. You don't want to give Jo Harton or Sophie Dwyer extra opportunities to be able to nail their super shots.
Oh, well, they can't make them sink, can they? 3 attempts and all ringed out. Still up by 4, though. And hey, putting the defensive pressure on. Smith, Proud, Fawns, Hadley, undefeated Maddie Proud in the pocket. Who can she connect with? Sophie Fawns, super shot range. Took a while to get out of the hand. Well, they can't find the bottom of the net, both sides, in this Power 5. Housby knows it, gonna opt for the one.
And a smart move knowing that they've got that next centre as well. So it gives them that opportunity to set up again, whether or not they play for the 1 or the 2. Oh.
Well, it's not pretty, is it? But it got to its target. They'll settle now. They'll send it back and reset here. The New South Wales Swifts. Hadley over the top to Housby. Smack bang in the middle of the circle. The jump attempt comes from the Giants, but it won't stop Helen Housby. First super shot of the game, and it's a good one.
And we've just seen the style of this game absolutely change compared to that first quarter. There is so much more happening in terms of off the ball, in terms of those little pushes and that fight to just get into the right position. And it's really great again, intent from both teams. But again, that extra penalty here, it's a 3rd attempt they have to get a super shot.
Well, you'd want to sink it, wouldn't you? Jo Harton does exactly that. Not going to give them a 3rd shot of it. Well, Julie Fitzgerald is up and down out of her seat. 1:20 remaining. They pick up another ball here, the Giants. 3 the difference. Love another Suncorp super shot here to really put the pressure on the New South Wales Swifts. Jo Harton happy to take the one. Well, a reminder if you're just joining us, the last time these sides met was in round 6. And you wouldn't think it looking at this game right now, but it was the New South Wales Swifts by 24 and without their co-captain, Maddie Proud.
Goalkeeper, what's your timing when you go for it? Play, bring it up.
Well, that's been a couple of times the umpires had to address Sarah Clow. So she'll want to be careful here. Oh, how's the shove under the post? Jo Harton.
Yeah, there is a lot happening in that circle. There is a lot. So let's see if the umpire can just continue to manage that, and hopefully we'll see all of them just take a deep breath and get on with the netball.
Well, the beauty for both of these sides is they're 20 seconds away from the main break, and at this point in the game, it looks like that needs to come. It is getting very willing. Have a look at this contest between the two. Jo Harton, the pushback.
Contact centre.
Well, the umpire will have those two well and truly on his radar now. There it is, the end of the first half, and the Giants stay in control. They lost that second quarter by the 1, 16-17. Last game of their season's last 30 minutes to be precise, and really it's about avoiding that wooden spoon and showing a little bit of pride to end their seasons, Dylan.
Oh, it absolutely is, and both teams are going to make sure that they want to finish off this game really strong, and they're going to have to get out to a really great start this quarter. So let's see how these first couple of minutes eventuate.
Well, you talk about the starts. The New South Wales Swifts have only won 2 of their 3rd quarters, and on that I might get down to their head coach, Bryony Akel, who joins us from the sideline. Bryony, what was the discussion at halftime around how do you get yourself back in this game?
Yeah, I think we're in this game. I mean, being only 2 or 3 down, we're definitely in it, and we just need to nail those basics in crucial times.
And Bryony, what are you noticing in that circle in terms of that matchup between Sarah Clow and Jo Harton? It's getting a little bit fiery under there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always a really good battle between these two, but it's about, staying clean and not drawing the eye of the umpire. So hopefully coming off body a little bit more.
Bryony, we've spoken to your players, but I'd love to get your take on this last game of the season that was, and what you really just wanted to see from your team today.
Yeah, obviously it's been you know, one of the toughest seasons that I think the Swifts have ever had, and only having 3 wins, this means a lot to us to come out and get this win, but actually just play with pride and play for the red dress.
Well, we'll leave you to it. All the best for this second half, Bronny.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's absolutely right. It's not about getting back in this game, is it? Well and truly there, but it is about starting to take some control again, or continuing that momentum, because they did win that second quarter by the 1 goal. Proud to Housby. Hadley. Well, I mentioned the stat around their third quarters. When the Swifts have been leading at 3-quarter time, which has only been twice this season, they've gone on to win both of those games. They will know that. They'll have that in the back of their minds, and they'd love to put the foot down here in the third.
Oh, absolutely. I think whichever team's got that momentum is really going to be able to run away with this game. And they're both confidence teams. And when you're in a position where you have been losing more than you're winning, you want to be in front and be able to have control in that last quarter.
Pallavi. Well, we saw Sophie Fawns take to the court momentarily, but Unique Pallavi is the one that will start us off again in this second half. Bryony Akel, hands in the air, likes it. They're back to 1. The centre pass 2. The co-captains working together, keeping it sharp, keeping it moving. Well, now they have to wait, and it felt like a long time. Well, look at that. No matter what Tilly McDonald did, there was always an opening somewhere to get that ball to Pallavi.
Yeah, she recognises and reads that space so well, and her movement is just so swift, and she's sharp in terms of being able to just flip around and open up a new space.
So swift, eh? Saw what you did there. Harton outside the circle. Maddie Proud, what have you made of her game? Feels like she's been a little bit quiet by her standards.
Yeah, I agree. I think Amy Sliger did a fantastic job in terms of covering that movement from her in that first half, making sure, particularly on that second phase, she was going with her and then coming back for that drive. It'll be interesting now that she's moved into centre to see what changes we can see from her. They'll be looking to pick up that defensive work against Jamie Lee Price, but there she's got that different angle in terms of accessing circle edge, so let's see if that helps the Swifts.
Pallavi, another to her name, sitting now at 21 from 23, 91%. Had a couple of cracks at the super shot as well. There's those shooting percentages. Nothing wrong with what Helen Housby is contributing. 100% shooting, just needs more of it, particularly around that power 5. There she is, Helen Housby. Gave us all a fright in that second quarter, but is A-OK. Harton. Enormous pressure over the shot from Maddie Turner. Won the difference. Hadley. Long ball to Smith. Opens up the other side of the court, but there's no one there for the Swifts.
Oh, nice ball. We could just see Paige Hadley there in terms of that intent. She went to step on, she moved that defender in terms of Tilly McDonald sideways, and she just opened Unique Pallavi through the centre channel there. Loving that change already in terms of Hadley sitting back in wing attack, just adding a little bit more structure to that attack line.
Joe Harton up and over the top of Turner. Oh, goal for goal, so it's back to what we saw a little of in that opening quarter. Little mistakes, making sure of it. Pallavi, the front hold, so strong. That easy shot for her. Well, I was unsure if she would be the answer for them in 2025 as a contracted 10 player, but the more you watch her in this contest,
She's absolutely putting a fantastic case forward, and you can't fault her for that. When a player like this gets an opportunity, amazing to see that she's absolutely taking it with both hands and giving everything she has. Absolute credit to her and the person that she is.
Well, another call there against Maddie Proud. She's got to stay there while Jamie Lee Price wanders off for the next ball. Back to Dwyer. Swing to Hay. Over the top. Well, they're putting those balls up and over Sarah Clow with little respect paid there. It's such a well-weighted pass.
Oh, absolutely, and they're setting it up really well. And there's just a loose ball from the Swifts. Let's see if the Giants here can convert that turnover.
Oh, not if they throw it high and long. Smith had a very good look at it.
But Jamie Lee Price just so strong in the air, and just see how she twisted her body. She knew that Smith was coming. She twisted to protect that space, and she ripped that ball in.
New South Wales Swifts now leading this quarter by the 2 goals. Still down by 1, but they're really starting to put some pressure on the Giants here. Dwyer, the drive around the top of the circle, Harton out. Sophie Dwyer, well, we heard Joe Harton talking about that little shuffle shot, trying to get a little bit closer to the post. There's your last 10, and as we mentioned, really goal for goal. A couple at the start there for the Swifts, couple at the end for the Giants. Hey, over the top again to Harton. Oh. Well, she was in about 4 minds as to what to do with that ball at that time. Ends up putting it down for Dwyer. Good decision.
And for me at the moment, Jamie Lee Price is just taking control of this game, both in attack and defence, in terms of what she's being able to set up with ball in hand, but the pressure she's able to create in terms of her strength when she doesn't have ball in hand. So continue to watch this battle with her and whoever she's on.
Oh, she's back to being on Paige Hadley for the minute. Hadley lines up. Pallavi proving to be strong and reliable in this game right throughout. Just a couple of misses, as we mentioned. 92%. There's her shooting range. Loving that left-hand side of the court. Another big hit. This time, though, Sarah Clow on Sophie Dwyer. Harton, one of the best at the business at just putting that hand out and pulling it in with one, isn't she?
She is, and she's so left-hand dominant. Wherever that left hand is up, she knows she wants that ball, and she just rips it in from anywhere.
Well, might get down to Eloise Sawyer. Eloise, you're sitting on the far end of the bench away from Julie Fitzgerald, but I bet you can still hear her.
I can hear her and I can see her because she's coming right up to the sideline, and she singled out Jodie Ann Ward and delivered to her come off the ball, and come off Housby rather, and attack the ball.
Yeah, well, she is such an athlete, and I think that's where her real strength lies, isn't it, Dylan? It's about that anticipation. It's not necessarily the one-on-one.
Oh, absolutely. And you want to make sure if you're the wing defence and centre for Giants, so Sligo and Price, you want to be thinking about what you can do in terms of your work out the front to set up Jodie Ann Ward. She's at her best when she has a licence to be able to go out and fly. And this is a real danger period now for the Swifts, with the Giant just getting some momentum back their way, and let's see what happens. What they can do here to peg it back.
Well, how quickly that turned around now. The Giants finding themselves up by 5. You suspect if there's another turnover and another point on the board, Bryony Aker will have to go to a timeout. Pallavi, though, going to stem the flow a little. There she is, Bryony Aker, in her last coaching role for the Swifts this season. Sarah Clow now a long way from home. Joe Harton trying to set the screen up. The swing across the circle. Dwyer driving straight after it. And again, Turner straight up the back for the penalty.
It might be the time for the Swifts in terms of their defence, just to change their structure a little bit. We've got Maddie Hay absolutely dominating centre pass receive. So is it time to see if we can, if the Swifts can get Sophie Dwyer to take a few more of those centre passes, but of course our penalty count is still really high and creeping up a little bit further.
Oh, Pallavi was going to say she'd be doing well to get that shot in, but the foot was out of court first, and there are the penalties. The 2 Swifts sitting at the top. Have a look at the footwork, nearly got it up and into the shot. Hey, cross court to Price, Ward, Price. Sligo, well, they're keeping the ball moving here, the Giants. Little time in the hands, and the connection is good. Well, 9 seconds away from this Power 5. We saw the Giants milk the clock a little earlier, trying to make the most of it. Well, they'll get there now. Looking at this, a siren about to go. Joe Harton will get herself in that wide arc, exactly where she wants to be. Sophie Dwyer, 2 from 6. 33% for the super shots, misses another. Well, an opportunity here that is much needed for the New South Wales Swifts as they find themselves down by 5. not looking for the super shot.
No, I think potentially after a turnover, they didn't realise potentially it was not their centre next. They just wanted to get that one on the board. So let's see if they can start to look for the twos now, the Swifts.
It is a lot to think about, isn't it? Because you don't want to be forced into it to be too unnatural. Well, over the shot, 2 of the New South Wales Swifts as O'Shannessy makes her way onto the court. 2 of the taller players too. Clow, O'Shannessy over that shot, makes it very hard, slaps the hands together. Sophie Dwyer though, 3 from 8. Not shying away from putting them up.
Contact, goal defense, goal third. Yes. Starting construction with defense.
Housby, Hadley.
Contact with defense.
Doesn't dribble in for Helen Housby. Pallavi though now knows they need to attack this 2-point time. They get a couple back here, the Swifts. 4 the difference. 3 and a bit minutes remaining in this third quarter. O'Shannessy. Well, she's right now in that one-on-one with Joe Harton, mixing it up that way, putting some body on body, Dylan.
Oh, absolutely, and I love that they did that switch then, and they timed it a little bit better that time in terms of O'Shannessy coming back. And I think she must have slipped when she went out of court, because the crowd made a really big ooh when she hit the ground then.
Harton, little flat, can't sink it. The rebound, the New South Wales Swifts. There's the challenge from O'Shannessy, and the ball won back by the Giants gives them another opportunity. 5 the difference.
O'Shannessy just went for that cut then, and she hit someone's foot and tripped over, but the Swifts are all setting so deep in terms of not having a short, safe option to get that ball moving from Clow.
Pallavi. Oh, it rings out. It's been the story of their super shots, hasn't it, for the New South Wales Swifts? It's not really, actually. Helen Housby 3 for 4. It's just felt like that.
Fantastic contest there from Maddie Proud, getting her outside arm up and putting Jamie Lee Price under a little bit of pressure there.
Housby, Hadley,
Contact with defense.
Sligo right on the body. Waiting for something, Hadley. Pallavi wants to get closer, doesn't want to take the super shot. Gets one back. Well, the Swifts down by just the 1 in this third quarter. Harton. Cross to Hay, trying to free herself in the white arc. Well, 3-4 times now she's had the ball there. Is this the spot she wants? It looks good. Joe Harton, 3 from 8. Super shots. Up by 6, Pallavi. Well, it doesn't really look like they want to take this power shot, their power 5 opportunities, do they? Helen Housby will. Nice high release, and the arc is good. Housby now 4 from 5.
And again here, the Giants are just accessing their first and second phase so easily, and it's just allowing them to create the structure that they want and be able to get that ball to their shooter, and eventually we'll probably see here in the 2-point shot again.
Yeah, leaving Dwyer all alone to take one. She's got to get up and over the shot, though, that is Sarah Clow. They get another one. The pressure really on the New South Wales Swifts. The Giants up by 6, just over 30 seconds to play in this third quarter. Got to get Housby into the circle. Pallavi doesn't look like she wants to put them up.
And Amy Sligo is getting so close to getting a tip in or getting a ball just outside that circle there. She is so tight in terms of her one-on-one defence that eventually something's going to come for her.
Well, absolutely putting the pressure on Helen Housby, weren't they? Doesn't matter now, though. She's got a hand on the ball, and they're back to 4. Going to run out of time here, though, the Giants, are they? Yeah. Well, a goal-for-goal quarter. The Giants taking that one by just the 1, 18-17, and they'll head into the 3-quarter time break up by the 4, 55-51. Stay with us. Crowd is the perfect word, I think, to describe this last 15 minutes of play. All of that will be on the line, and we'll get down to Eloise Sawyer on the sideline because I believe you heard the secret to how the Giants are going to close this game out.
Yeah, they certainly did. For Julie Fitzgerald, she just said short, sharp, don't hold and wait for the ball. It needs to be short, sharp in their delivery. And it was Jo Harton who had the secret as to how they win this game. She said they will get the victory off the back of their defence. They need to be on in this last 15 minutes to try and claim this victory. As you said, all on the line is pride here today.
Well, Dylan will be the first to agree with you that defence wins games, but absolutely spot on. I think that's been the big difference for me in this game is what they've been doing, and what Julie Fitzgerald is asking for is that short, sharp ball work and keeping it moving.
Oh, absolutely, and you've seen Jamie Lee Price be able to do that, and as a defender, when you get that short, sharp movement going through, it is so hard to be able to find the right timing to come through and get that ball. And more often than not, if you do come through, you're getting that contact penalty, which we've seen the Swifts happen to the Swifts.
Yeah, the Swifts just 7 gains, 4 of them to Sarah Clow, so you're right, they've really struggled to try and disrupt this Giants lineup. Well, they've got 14 minutes to turn that around, the New South Wales Swifts. Otherwise, they will go from grand finalists to wooden spooners in just 12 months' time. Harton, it's exactly what she wants to see for the difference. Housby, Hadley, Pallavi. Just even how quickly all of that happened off the hand of Pallavi. It looked like she was going to dish it out, turn, got the perfect shot off.
And they've started to look for her now off circle edge too, so she's creating that great space for them to be able to see and access her quite early.
Back to Ward, smothered by 2 red dresses, Housby and Hadley. Harton, Dwyer, little Falcon, but also a penalty against Maddie Turner. Maddie Turner, the most penalised in the competition. Sarah Clow, second. And that's exactly where they're sitting too, 1 and 2 in this game. Dwyer.
Offside centre, inside players. Contact.
Ali Smith still out there at wing defence. We saw Maddie Turner start the game there. The lean over the shot. Well, it puts Jo Harton off. That's enough. They've got to keep possession here. They do through Maddie Proud. Throwing herself on the ball. The captain wants to finish this season the right way. We'll listen to the crowd.
Yes, and listen to everyone. I think even Julie Fitzgerald was up out of her seat there with both hands out. So that's quite an interesting call, but what I love in terms of what they did was that intent from both of those co-captains. They both wanted that ball and they were both hard at it. Jamie Lee Price is just so strong and Maddie Proud is just Captain Courageous.
Yep, saw Julie Fitzgerald there up out of her seat. Means so much to everybody. Pallavi, the strength to hold on to possession. Tilly McDonald not turning away from the challenge. Well, you've got to say this crowd is a smack bang half-half.
Yeah, they're coming to life, and little things like that are going to continue to bring them to life, which is fantastic.
Well, it's the last 11, 12 minutes of their season as well. And they'll want to support their sides right to the end as Pallavi gets the Swifts back to 1. Winning this quarter 5-2, so they've come out with a point to prove here, the New South Wales Swifts in the 4th quarter. There's your score breakdown. Not much in the 2nd and the 3rd. Really, the Giants setting themselves up in the first one. And it looks like they're going to be challenged here.
And we can just see that intent in terms of the Swift defence, trying to put that pressure on a little bit earlier and force the Giants to overplay up the court. Jamie Lee Price, though, is still the one that's slicing through that defence to be able to move that ball down, and just like then accessing Unique Pallavi again down the other end.
There seems to be a lot of defensive work on, or focus probably on Helen Housby, and Pallavi really coming alive here. They've got to shut it down though.
Oh, big time, and we can see another game possession there for the Swifts, but absolutely Tilly McDonald has to take real great responsibility for that. That's her direct opponent, and she needs to be able to just flip a little bit earlier to ball side and just keep changing up her position.
Well, you can feel the energy shift in this stadium. There's your pickups, and that's the desperation of the New South Wales Swifts. Turner Housby, got to get in the circle. Hadley can't. Look at the defensive pressure on Helen Housby. Jodie-Ann Ward working her overtime, but Unique Pallavi standing up as she gets them to even. The centre pass to follow.
Oh, that roll to base just to open up like that, and then that forward onto the ball. It's just beautiful. And then you can see a hold there from Pallavi. She is absolutely dominating this fourth quarter.
Well, Unique Pallavi finishes this game like this. She is the signed 10th contracted player next year, surely.
You've called it, Kath.
Well, this game, I think, in the scheme of the season, is probably as big as a grand final to Bryony Akel. Up by 1, the New South Wales Swifts. Well, what's going to be extremely interesting, Dylan, is 4 and a bit minutes time in the Power 5. It's level, and it's really going to come down to punches. Have a look at these last 10, though. New South Wales Swifts well and truly back in this game, and they've done it off the back of that last 7.
I also think, Kath, it'd be quite fitting if it turns into a super shot shootout based on these two teams being ranked number 1 and 2 in the competition for super shots.
Great call. What else is looking pretty good right now is your prediction that this is going to overtime.
Let's hope, because the crowd are absolutely enjoying this, so let's get an extra 15 minutes of netball for everybody.
Strong swing, Dwyer to Jamie Lee Price. Well, she was a little nervous. It might have been too close. They keep it short here, the Giants, and they keep it level. Oh, who's got the ticker for this final quarter? Pallavi has done little wrong in this contest, continues to put a hand up. Only 2 misses in regular time, sitting at 95%. There's your total score. She's just 2 behind the co-captain for the Giants in Joe Harton. Sophie Dwyer will get another shot at it here. Penalty against Sarah Clow. Well, we mentioned in the opener that the Giants have had a few close games, haven't been able to close them out. This would be the one they would love to be able to do that too.
Oh, absolutely, and they know what they need to do in terms of being able to do that. They would have talked about that, they've addressed that, they've worked on that, and now it's for them to be able to implement it. And they're doing a good job in terms of just wrestling this quarter back, in terms of just being in a little bit more control when they have the ball in hand.
Well, Joe Harton is getting really frustrated at the attention, understandably, but she needs to keep a level head here. They're going to need her leadership and her reliability in this final 7 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. The last thing that the Giants need is her being distracted and letting that take her focus. Didn't seem like there was too much in that, but again, there's a lot going on between those two all game.
Sophie Dwyer. Price, well, a couple of quick double plays between the two. Dwyer, good from distance. Well, she'll want to do exactly that in a minute and a half when we get to the 4th Power 5. Housby, Pallavi, Housby. Both sides really determined to keep this as short as possible. Keep control, keep possession. Housby takes one. Keeps them in front by 1. Dwyer to Hay, Harton. Well, there you go, very clear. Maddie Proud falling into the circle, but the umpire saying, no, that's you, get away.
And in that circle down there, Sophie Dwyer is doing such a good job of terms of when she gets that ball on the outside and she gives to a midi and then she cuts in, and the line that she's cutting in is so hard to defend because it's such a compact space. So she's doing a really good job of just setting up that attack line in terms of being able to go to post.
How good is this performance from Unique Pallavi? We know she's a Tongan international. She's got that experience, but she's not shying away from this contest as it turns into a pressure cooker.
Absolutely not. She is standing up and delivering.
HCF tactical timeout. The Giants down by 1, 30 seconds away from the Power 5.
She wants up here, then she doesn't get touched again. Right? We take her out there. And we stay in front, but we have to make sure there's no deep second phase, all right? We cannot have a deep second phase. There cannot be a deep second phase. We need this ball to run, all right? Keep the movement happening down this end. Nobody be standing waiting for ball. We keep offering the movement so that we make them impact in direction, right?
Let's stay circle edge on the shot. Stay circle edge on the shot. There you go.
Look like getting ball.
Here we go.
Tighten this up down here and look at the ball off the body.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, we need the ball. Here we go. All together, back each other up. Be the first to the loose ball. Everyone is locked in 5 minutes. Here we go.
We can do this.
Time's on me. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go.
Wow, if you didn't hear Julie Fitzgerald right then, we can do this. Don't think I've heard of that passionate in a long time, but I want some clarification from you, Dylan, though, because she talked about a deep second phase. But does that mean the ball the pass gets longer when she's been asking for short this entire game?
Well, I think she was talking to Jodie Ann Ward and Amy Sligo, so she was talking about their defence setup. So she was saying that she doesn't want the Swifts to be able to get a deep second phase. So when they're getting there first, she doesn't want the second ball to get anywhere near that circle edge. So let's see if they can flip around and potentially push up on second phase here.
Well, we've got to get down to Eloise Sawyer too. What did Bryony Akel have to say in that timeout?
Yeah, she went straight for Sarah Clow and to Turner just to address them in that circle, as obviously its physicality is heating up between Joe Hart, and she addressed them. She just said, we need to stay strong because she's just trying to get the call to get them offside.
Thank you, Eloise.
Some excellent defence here from the Giants. The Swifts are just having to work overtime to get an option. And there we go, Pallavi opens at the post.
Well, they are finding her with relative ease now. And she is putting her hand up. Unique Pallavi, an outstanding game from her as the New South Wales Swifts wrestle control again. Well, this is probably really good timing. The extra time rules up on your screen now. Are we heading that way as the players throw themselves on the floor? If we get to that 2 times 5 minutes that we played.
And this is just great commitment from everyone. They are absolutely so into this, and it's fantastic to see. I guess that there's no tomorrow leaves them with a little bit more to leave on the line in terms of their recovery. It doesn't matter how sore they are. They've got the whole next week off.
Well, they've got a long time off. You're absolutely right about that. The Swifts get themselves up by 2. The centre pass to follow. Well, we may not need those extra time rules. Are they going to take control here in this final 3 and a bit minutes?
And this is where that crucial decision-making comes into play. When you're 2 goals ahead, do you take the 1 to get 3 ahead, or do you go for that 2 and really put that extra little bit of risk on the line to keep that ahead? And Helen Housby says, let's go for the 2 and put the Swift 4 ahead.
Why not? Because she's shooting super shots at 86% in this game. Just the 1 miss, 6 from 7. Joe Harton can't reply. They lose possession. Well, what a turnaround for the New South Wales Swifts, down the majority of this game.
This is where it's really, really important for the Giants defence to think about what they have to do in terms of their process, because sometimes you can be worried about outcome and your thought process goes to, I need to get ball, I need to get ball, but they need to think about what they need to do in terms of process. So going back to their one-on-one in terms of pushing high and contesting really cleanly.
Well, where does this intercept come from? Who's going to deliver it for them? Looking for the jump on the shot there, the miss they force, but can't get the rebound here. Well, how fitting that it goes to Unique Pallavi after her performance here in round 14. The Swifts love it. Julie Fitzgerald does not. It's an HCF tactical timeout. 2 minutes, 26 left in their seasons.
shot. We don't have long passes that they can run onto. In the middle, we are on our player, all right? We cannot let them keep passing it around. Wherever they go, we are in front and we are on them so that we can get ball back. Down this end in front all the time, looking for that too. If you go down for a ball, don't have this hand up, all right? So that we don't give away any penalties down there. Got to win ball back, all right? So we have to be on them in the middle so they can't keep passing it around. A couple back we need. That's all we need.
So clarification, we're on our own in defence. Yeah, and then if we see the long, then we're going on that. So everybody on their own in D. You know the tactic here, yeah? And then on centre pass, we've got 4 offers. Yep. Yeah, here we go. We're still in this. Here we go. Giants on 2, 1, 2, 3, Giants. Lock in, Giants.
What a contrast in voices in that Giants huddle. Julie Fitzgerald, so passionate, so loud. Jo Harden, the sense to come in. A little bit calmer, just make sure her players know exactly what's needed from them. And that there, the last 4 there for the New South Wales Swifts is why they've got themselves in this beautiful position, up by 5. The score breakdown, winning this final quarter 19-10. It's their biggest scoring quarter and there's still 2 minutes to play.
Now it all becomes about centre pass conversion for the Swifts, making sure that they get every time they have the ball at a centre, they are putting it through the ring in terms of a 1 or a 2-point shot.
Well, Maddie Proud just hurt herself in that contest and is looking a little ginger, but there is nothing in the world that will get the co-captain off the court for this final 2 minutes. Pallavi. Brilliant. Well, they've got to keep possession here. They've got to get it to the white arc, the Giants, and now that is proving very, very difficult. Defensively, the Swifts have really picked it up in this final quarter.
It's just even that change-up of having arms over everything. When that's the first thing the Giants see, it puts them under pressure, and a fantastic shot by Jo Harden. Is the clock going to beat them?
Well, the Swifts will be very, very aware of the margin and of the clock right now, but they're not that aware of each other. Massive opportunity here for the Giants. They get a 2, centre pass to follow, another one, and it's back to level, Dylan.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this accuracy on the 2-point shot, isn't it? It's going to be a really big moment here.
Dwyer, another shot at it. Got to sink it. Pressure shot, it does. The centre pass to follow the Giants. Back to 2, the difference.
Biggest play of the game coming up.
Without question. Who wants the ball in their hands? Sophie Dwyer passes it off to the co-captain. Well, both of them only sitting at 40% and 50%. Got a fall, Jo Harden, she nails it! Julie Fitzgerald can only take a breath. There's time here for the New South Wales Swifts. There's your extra time rules. Got to get it to circle. Don't need a 2, just need a 1. Hadley, plenty of time on the clock. Got to keep cool heads. Pallavi has been rock.
What a story! Unique Pallavi, take a bow.
Well, I'll just for a moment let you listen to the crowd. Last year's grand finalists won't be playing finals this year, but they have avoided the wooden spoon. And they've finished the season on a high.